coupling devices. Coupling devices starts with the air hoses and the electrical line, and it includes everything on the fifth wheel. So it's broken down weirdly in that paper. But for coupling, starts right here. You're going to make sure these air lines and this electrical line are secured on both the trailer and the tractor. You're going to make sure these glad hands are sealed up properly. You don't see any kinds of damage on them. You're going to make sure that this electrical line is secured in the box on the trailer and the tractor. You're going to check the entire length of both air lines and the electrical line, making sure they're not cut, frayed, or leaking, and you don't see anywhere where anybody tried to make any illegal repairs on either of the three of them. You're also going to make sure that they're not tangled on each other and they're not hanging too low. Then, this right up under here, when you see it on the paperwork, this is what they're referring to as the apron. The entire underside of the front of this trailer. You're going to make sure that apron is securely mounted, it's not cracked, it's not bent. You're going to make sure there's no gap between the apron and the skid plate, which is what they're calling the deck of the fifth wheel. You're also going to make sure that skid plate is not bent, it's not cracked, it's properly greased, and it's securely mounted to this mounting platform that it sits on, and it's not missing any nuts, bolts, or pins. That pin is the only thing that holds it on, and that bolt through that flange right there is the only thing keeps that pin from backing out. So you got to make sure it's not missing any nuts, bolts, or pins. This right here, it sits, this part of it fits around this piece right here. That's a sliding fifth wheel. If you see a sliding fifth wheel, if it looks like that moves at all, you got to tell him the slide pin for that fifth wheel is in a secured position and they're not cracked or broken in any way. It's really hard to see unless you get underneath the damn thing, but you're going to tell him what you would do, okay? You've also got to make sure this entire fifth wheel mounting platform is securely mounted to both the frame on the truck and that slider assembly, if it's equipped with one. That red truck over there has a sliding fifth wheel. The black one does not. This is your fifth wheel release handle. You got to tell him that release handle is all the way in a secured position. If it has a little hinge safety latch right here that's supposed to drop over that handle, make sure you tell him that safety latch is in the secured position. That sliding fifth wheel is air powered. Tell him you're going to check that entire air system for that sliding fifth wheel, making sure you have no leaks whatsoever. Once you've told him about the apron, the skid plate, the gap, the pins, the nuts, the bolts, the release handle, the slider if it's equipped with one, the platform, no air leaks, the tiny little safety latch if it has one of those also, ad nauseum. Then you're going to get under the trailer, behind the landing gear, because there's more room to move around back there. You're going to point up in the backside of that fifth wheel where it's shaped like a V, and you're going to tell him, I'm going to make sure that the locking jaws on that fifth wheel are firmly holding that kingpin the way they should be, and the kingpin itself is securely mounted to that apron and it's not bent or cracked, okay? You don't need to see it, just as long as you get up under there and point up in there at it, okay? Because it's hard to see without a damn flashlight anyway. And then the last thing you got to tell him for coupling, you're going to make sure there's plenty of room between the frame at the back of this truck and that landing gear to make turns without them catching on each other, okay? You can say that when you're doing side of truck also, but if you don't mention it when you're doing coupling, that's the only place you get the points for it, okay?